BTS without Jungkook? Taehyung reveals a truth that leaves ARMY in tears. What happened? Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. But before we unravel this emotional mystery, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our deep dives into the most heart-stopping moments in the BTS universe. Because trust me, you'll want to stay until the very end of this one. It started quietly. No big announcement from HYB, no warning from the members. Jungkook simply wasn't there. The event was meant to be a celebration, a special appearance that reunited BTS on stage after months of solo projects and schedules pulling them in different directions. ARMYs had been counting down the days. Fan cams, hashtags, live streams, the anticipation was electric. But when the curtain rose, it was as if the universe had skipped a beat. Taehyung, usually the one with a mischievous sparkle in his eyes, seemed oddly restrained. His voice, though steady, carried a weight. It's the kind of subtle shift that only true fans can sense, the way his smiles didn't quite reach his eyes, the way his posture seemed to fold inward during moments he'd usually shine. The performance went on. The lights dazzled. The members gave it their all. But between the beats and harmonies, a shadow lingered over the stage. ARMYs watching in person whispered to each other. Where's Jungkook? Is he backstage? Did something happen? Hours later, the online world exploded. A single post from Taehyung appeared on Weverse. The photo was simple, a dimly lit street at night, blurred lights in the distance. But it was the caption that sent chills through everyone reading it. Some truths you can only see when someone is missing. The words hit differently. They weren't poetic fluff. They weren't a random quote. They felt personal. Painfully personal. And with no other explanation given, ARMYs were left to piece together the puzzle. Was Jungkook okay? Was this about him? Was there tension between the members? Or was this a sign of something deeper, something BTS had been holding back from the world? Theories erupted like wildfire. Some fans pointed out that just a week earlier, Jungkook had been spotted looking exhausted at the airport, his hoodie pulled low, barely glancing at cameras. Others remembered a recent livestream where he spoke softly about needing time to think about the future, words that had been brushed off at the time but now felt hauntingly relevant. And then there were the more emotional interpretations. Could Taehyung's message be a way of telling ARMY that Jungkook was struggling? That the bond they shared had been tested in ways we couldn't see? It wouldn't be the first time music history had seen such a moment. Fans compared it to when Freddie Mercury of Queen suddenly vanished from public performances in the late 80s, leaving only cryptic hints until the truth emerged. Or when the Beatles John Lennon stopped touring without warning, prompting endless speculation. The difference here was that BTS had always been together. Even through their solo ventures, there was an unspoken understanding, no matter what, the seven would remain a united front. So Jungkook's absence, and Taehyung's haunting words, cut deeper than anyone expected. 2 days later, another twist. Taehyung appeared in a short video posted on his Instagram story. He was sitting in a quiet room, the faint hum of traffic outside. His hair fell naturally across his forehead, and he looked directly into the camera. For a moment, it seemed like he might speak. Instead, he simply smiled, a faint, almost bittersweet smile, and whispered, "You'll understand soon." The clip lasted only 5 seconds, but it ignited a storm. What did he mean? Was this connected to an upcoming announcement? Or was it a warning, a gentle way to prepare ARMY for something they weren't ready to hear? At the same time, fans noticed that Jungkook had gone completely silent on social media. No posts. No comments. No live streams. For someone usually so engaged with ARMY, the silence was deafening. Insiders began to hint at scheduling conflicts, health breaks, or creative differences, the vague, polished phrases that often mask something far more complex. But those who know BTS know they rarely hide behind empty PR statements. If something was wrong, it was likely personal, deep, and tangled in layers of emotion. And here's where the story gets even stranger. Multiple eyewitnesses reported seeing Taehyung and Jungkook together in Seoul just days before the event. They weren't in a rehearsal room or a public space, they were spotted near the Han River, sitting on a bench, talking quietly for over an hour. No cameras. No managers. Just two friends, side by side, in the kind of conversation that changes things. What was said that day? What truth had Taehyung hinted at in his post? And could that conversation have been the reason Jungkook wasn't on stage? The image of that moment, two silhouettes against the dark water, the city lights shimmering in the distance, stayed with me. It's the kind of scene that feels like the start of a turning point, the beginning of a chapter that's still being written. For ARMY, the silence has been the hardest part. Every unanswered question feels like a weight. Every cryptic post feels like a breadcrumb leading to a truth they may not be ready for. But there's one thing about BTS history we can't ignore: whenever they've faced moments of uncertainty, they've eventually chosen honesty. Sometimes it comes in the form of a heartfelt livestream. Sometimes through lyrics that only make sense months later. Sometimes it's revealed in the tears they aren't afraid to shed in front of millions. And right now, we are standing at the edge of one of those moments. Because when Taehyung says, "Some truths you can only see when someone is missing," it's not just a poetic phrase. It's a door. And behind it could be a revelation that changes how we see BTS forever. In the days following Taehyung's cryptic post, the air around BTS felt different. There was no official statement, no sudden press conference to clear the air. Instead, there was a strange, deliberate quiet, the kind of silence that makes you listen harder. Then came the leak. A Korean entertainment journalist, known for occasionally accurate inside scoops, posted a single sentence late at night. "Sometimes, stepping away is the only way to find your way back." They didn't mention BTS. They didn't have to. Within minutes, ARMY had connected the dots. We don't know when Jungkook will step back into the spotlight. But we do know this: when he does, Taehyung will be there. And so will ARMY, a purple ocean waiting to welcome him home. Because sometimes, the most powerful love isn't in holding on. It's in knowing when to let go, and trusting they'll find their way back.